Welcome to Breaking the Chains, Repatriation Journeys. I'm here with Akosua, and she's going to introduce herself. Go ahead, Akosua.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me. My name's Akosua. As you can tell from my name, I'm Ghanaian, and by the accent, I'm British Ghanaian. I was born and brought up in the UK to Ghanaian parents. My mum came to the UK at 23 years old. Last month was actually August. Sorry. August marks 40 years since she's been in the UK.
How many?
And my dad, 40.
40. Wow.
Yes, can you imagine? I couldn't do that.
I'm 40 years old.
No!
Yeah,
Your whole life.
My whole life.
Your whole life it's been away. Oh gosh, that's crazy.
Wow.
My dad also came to the UK in the early 80s. Prior to coming to the UK, he was in Australia, where he did his masters, and then came to the UK and met my mum. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so you look very, very young. Now, I know Black don't crack, and us Africans, we tend to age very slowly, but I have to ask. I've been wanting to ask you this for a while now. How old are you?
33 years old.
You are a young woman. It's great. So you're young and you're doing what you're doing, which is even better because I think young people need to know that it's doable. We just have to have a plan. So tell me, what was it that made you decide that you were going to go back to Ghana? You wanted to plant some.
It's actually quite funny. My first trip to Ghana, I was actually 15 years old, and my grandmother, my mum's mum, came, or my auntie went to get her from her hometown. And we stayed in Ghana for 4 weeks, me and my sister. And the first week I was like, what is this? Like, I'm going to be here for 4 weeks. It's hot. I don't know what's going on. It's humid. You know, how am I going to stay for 4 weeks?
Right.
By week 2, I didn't want to go back. My grandmother was actually laughing at me. And she was just like, she's been here for 2 minutes and she doesn't want to go back.
She actually,
I don't want to go back. She pleaded with me. It was like, you need to go and finish school. Wow. And then when you're done, you can come back to Ghana. I was like, okay. And her words were, it was off the tree, was like, you don't want to go back to the matchstick.
Say it in tree? But you understand it, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I understand tree completely. Okay. But it's the pronouncing stuff, it just sounds wrong. Completely wrong. Tree was actually my first language.
Really?
Yeah, apparently when I went to nursery I got confused when I was speaking English to me.
Okay.
And then they told my mom, like, as you live here you should actually speak English to her. Okay. So that's a bit annoying, but yeah.
So we were talking earlier and you mentioned that being in the UK, being African, sometimes people try to hide that fact.
Yeah.
Like in the 70s, 80s, maybe early 90s, people didn't want to be seen as being African. Can you explain those things? Because I know from an American perspective, I didn't know that. I didn't know that Africans pretended to be somebody else at some times. Could you talk about that for a little bit?
So so for me it was never an issue. Like, my parents embedded in me, my sister, that you are African, you're Ghanaian, be proud of your heritage. But I know for older people, especially in school in the 70s and 80s, it was very much they didn't want to be seen or tied to being African. So it was a case of they would lie. They'll say that they're West Indian, they'll say that they're Jamaican, and not kind of, be proud of their roots. Right. So it's interesting for me to see the change, whereas different generations, but also the newer next generations coming up, because it's not even that they're claiming it, but they're claiming it on a different level. Like, we, some of us, it was never an issue. Like, that's us. But seeing just the whole ownership of it, It really does make me proud.
Yeah, it is for me to see how now it's like, yeah, I am who I am, and I'm
Yes.
proud of it. And I love this new generation. You guys are amazing. And the ones under you guys are amazing also.
Definitely.
So what let's talk about the real estate in Ghana. You mentioned two young ladies who started a real estate business in Ghana. Can you tell me more about that and how you got into buying your property?
Yeah, so Anna and Victoria own a company called On Point Property Management here in the UK. They've been in property combined for 30 years, and they were getting a lot of people asking them about sourcing and buying property in Ghana. So they decided to expand their business to help people, mainly us in the diaspora, to buy property back home. So they have another company, or like a sister company, called the Ghana Property and Lifestyle Expo.
Okay.
So it's an annual event that they hold every year in London, Chelsea, in November, where they invite developers to the UK for people to come and meet them. This is a free event, and they do it every 2 years in America and Atlanta as well.
Okay.
This year they'll be doing it, but it's going to be virtual. And so I went to the launch of the Ghana branch of their business, and kind of went to see what it was all about and get information, because my mum's all about property. And I filled out a form kind of saying what I wanted, what I was looking for. And I wasn't sure what I wanted, so I just ticked everything. Like, I want to be in a city or to the beachfront. I don't care if it's an apartment or a house.
You just wanted some property.
Yeah, I just wanted something. Yeah. So then they sent a follow-up email to me, and I went to their office, and we kind of went through they saw some developers for me to have a look at. So the one I went with was a company called Mobus, and they have a estate in East Legon Hills called Richfield Estate. Richfield Lifestyle Estate, sorry. And so, you know, I saw the brochure and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can really do this. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, what? And I feel like I was dreaming. Right. I can actually buy that's mine in Ghana. Like, it's not something that I'm going to inherit one day, like, will actually be mine. So we started off the process. So I bought the property off plan. So I had to wait for it to be finished. And luckily I had the On Point management team that were with me from literally that meeting until I got my keys.
Oh, wow.
Which they were literally a lifeline. Like, if I didn't have them, I probably would have given up.
Wow. So how did I know the first thing people are going to ask is, how did you pay for it? How much is it? What did it cost? Like, how can I do it? You know, people always have questions. So how much was it, and how did you pay for it?
So the house was off plan, so it was $95,000. I got a mortgage. It was 20% deposit, so I had savings. Like, I'm a saver kind of person. So so that was it. So I had a mortgage that got approved, and it was just waiting for the house to just be completed. I was naughty. I didn't go view the place before I committed to it, but that was spring, summer. But I went to Ghana in the autumn, fall time, so that's when I saw the house. So I don't know doing that.
So you did all of the paperwork sight unseen?
Yes. I had pictures, which I don't recommend anyone doing, but because I know the On Point ladies, I had, like, if they told me, I knew it was good. They were sending me footage and pictures, so I knew it was legit. Right. I knew it was a good quality building that I was getting.
You made this deal. They built it. You weren't there. You only had pictures to go by, and you show up in Ghana one day to your property to get your keys, and what happened?
So Yeah, so I was being sent pictures and footage, and unlucky for me, my grandmother on my dad's side passed away, so that made me go to Ghana. And during that trip, I went to view the place. So we got back from Kuala, and I had a phone call from Mobus. So this was literally a week before the first expo in London. So I got a call on the Wednesday saying, "Can you come now and view the place?" I was like, "It's late, like, I'm not coming." But Diane, her name is, she really wanted to take me round.
Yeah.
So I had to run from one auntie to another auntie's house to put my stuff there, and then run to the city. And Coffee, who worked for Mobus, made sure that I saw one of their previous projects first. He really wanted me to see the landscape. That was his key words. You need to go and see the landscaping. I was like, okay. So we went to the site in Adringano called Phoenix Villas.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely beautiful place. Absolutely beautiful. And after that, Diane drove me to Richfield, and I was just like, "Are we there yet?" So I was just like looking out the window like a kid, like, "Is this it? Is this it? Is this it?" So we get there, and I'm just like, "Oh my God, like, wow." I just couldn't speak. So she took me to the house. So it wasn't completely done yet, but I was completely amazed and blown away. Oh. And then the year after, I went again. The year after. So I was bear in mind, during this time, I was working full time, and I went back to uni to do my master's. So I was doing everything full time. Yeah, I'm crazy. Oh. I was doing everything full time. So the year after, I remember asking my friends, like, when we hand in our dissertation, our thesis, what are we doing? And they're like, nothing. I was like, okay, ticket booked. I'm going to Ghana the next day.
Right.
Right. So it was the 21st of September. And I was like, "Mum, are you coming with me?" And she just looked at me. She was like, "Well, you're taking me." So I literally dragged my mum with me. I was like, "You need to see the house." So the next trip I went and I met up with the On Point team as well, and my mum, and that was the first time she saw it. Mm-hmm. So she was she already seen pictures and stuff, but when she saw it, she was just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm glad you've done this. You've done amazing. Like, well done." Like, just her reaction just made me,
I'm so proud of you.
Footage of her singing and everything. I'm just like, oh my gosh. And it was so cute. It was so cute.
So nice.
And then she was like, because that trip, I made sure normally we stay family, but that trip I wanted to book an Airbnb in East Legon Hills to get to know the area, to get a feel for it.
Right.
So we were living there. And lucky for me, the Airbnb where I was staying, even though I caused them a little drama with my questions and stuff, I found out a lot about what was happening in the area, like up and coming things. Mm-hmm. So the owner of the Airbnb, basically he was his own mini estate as well. Mm-hmm. He was building his own mall. So he is a Ghanaian himself, but he lived in Canada. Ah. So then he came over when I came, because... yeah. And then I kind of got to talk to him and find out a bit more about the area. Mm-hmm. So when I saw it, my mum was just like, "Actually, do you know what? This is good. It's a great area in itself." I didn't know much about East Legon Hills. Okay. So obviously everyone knows about East Legon, but you know, in Ghana, they always try to like use well-known areas and then add hills or whatever to make people associate with exactly. So so when I told my dad, eventually I was like, I had to meet with my dad. I was like, "I need to meet you. I need to tell you something." So I don't know what he thought. So then I told him I bought a house, and he was just like, okay, that's a good thing you're doing. That's good. That's good. He was processing it. Then he was like, the area. I was like, East Legon Hills. He was like, "You know, that's not in East Legon." I was like, "Yeah, I know. It's not near." I was like, "I know."
Right.
But then he was like, "Okay, that's good." And then so now I kind of got the bug. Like, I want to buy more.
Want to buy more?
Yeah. I also want to build eventually.
You should. Should.
Oh God, that's just my next thing.
I'm really proud of you. Oh my God.
Thank you.
You know, I think one of the biggest things, I think people in the diaspora, if we can get over the fear, because everyone's afraid. Yes. And we need people like you who have kind of just jumped out there and just like, yeah, we're just gonna see what happens. Now you have a reputable person who's done something for you, and you can help other people in the process. So
Exactly.
now you have your place, your own place.
Crazy.
Is it completed?
It's completed. I have a tenant moving in at the beginning of November.
Oh my God.
The journey's been so crazy. It wasn't smooth, I'm not gonna lie, but if it wasn't for on-point management, I don't know what would have happened. I don't think I would have got to the end of this journey.
Right.
But yeah, I've officially got a tenant. They've paid a year advance, so they're moving in. So it's just waiting for them to kind of, get in there and just doesn't feel real, to be honest.
I was about to say, you should be super excited. You have your first property. You have your first tenant, and that is so amazing.
My first I did buy here. Yeah.
Do you think you could have done the same thing in the UK, or for around the same price, or was it easier and more cost effective to start in Ghana?
So originally I was looking to buy in the UK. Me being a single female on my own, On Point actually introduced me to a broker prior to them branching out in Ghana. Okay. So I think this was 2004. And I was told I could borrow £130,000.
Okay.
That can't buy you nothing in London.
Right.
You have to look outside London.
Right.
And I was just like, okay, but I work in London and I don't want to be commuting an hour and a half, 2 hours in traffic, paying congestion charge and parking and petrol.
Yeah.
It wasn't feasible for me. Right. So in London, they do schemes to help people buy, but not all of them are straight cut schemes. So they have small print, blueprints, small prints. So to me, it was just, I want to buy outright ownership in terms of having a mortgage, not shared ownership, not, I save this much, the government give me this much, but I didn't want any of that. I just wanted to know, that's mine. I can
So let's talk about this mortgage thing, because for a lot of people, getting a mortgage in Ghana, it seems like it's virtually impossible. Most people, we know that in most places in Ghana, you pay everything by cash. So how were you able to secure a mortgage in Ghana to have a property financed?
So the mortgage process in Ghana is very similar to the UK. Okay. I think even still, it might be a bit better in terms of when you're borrowing money from a bank, they have to do their own checks, so they have their own vested interests, right? So it's the same thing in terms of you need a deposit. Mm-hmm. They will ask you for certain paperwork, such as forms of ID, what else? A letter from the developer to say that you've paid the deposit. So in the UK, you pay the deposit to the bank. In Ghana, you pay the deposit to the developer to secure the property. So to secure the property. So once you've paid the deposit, the bank would then also get a verification from the developer to say that you've paid the deposit. The banks would then do their own checks to make sure the property is legit, it's high standard quality, that it's not in a, like the land also belongs to the developer, that they had the right paperwork. You can, once you buy the house as well, you can transfer the paperwork of the land to your name. So people shouldn't be put off by that. So they do their own checks to make sure that everything is verified. So me personally, if I had the cash, even though I don't have the cash, I would still get a mortgage for that element. Okay. Because that protects you. The mortgage the bank is not going to lend money out to anyone. Right. And not get their return, because they all have a vested interest. Right. So I'm sorry.
you got the mortgage on the house, and the land belongs. So are you getting a mortgage on the house and the land, or just the house?
So the mortgage is on the house. The land is in my name. So the site plan's in my name, and then you can then register it fully in your name. So you know the land belongs to the developer. So you have to check that as well. The bank will check that for you because they have their own surveyors that do the check-in. And then when you're ready, you can then register the land in your name. So it's yours. So let's just say the developer hold the land, so to speak, in their name. But when you buy it, the site plan is in your name.
Okay.
And then you transfer the ownership over to you.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So it wasn't hard to get the deeds to your land?
No.
Okay.
No.
So that's really good to know, because
some banks, they help you with that as well. So you don't have to worry about getting another party. The bank will help you with that.
So if your mortgage was $95,000 and you needed to put down how much? 20% of that?
Yeah. Oh God, I don't remember the interest rate.
How much was that? How much is 20% of 95?
It was like.
And that's dollars or pounds?
It was in dollars. So for me, I had to convert everything.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I want to give people like real numbers.
Yeah, definitely. I should have done that before I came on, actually.
So like almost $20,000. Can you?
Sorry, you're free. Oh, there you go.
I'm sorry.
You froze.
Okay, we froze up for a minute. So like almost $20,000, right? It's like 19,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what is your interest rate? Can you hear me? Oh, come on.
So it varies between to 20%.
I'm sorry.
I know. Sorry, it varies between 10%.
10%.
Oh, sorry. To 20%. So it depends on which bank you go for. So the lowest at the market, the last time I checked, was 10%.
Okay.
And the mortgage as well, sorry, is the length is 15 years.
15 years. Okay, that's not bad. 15 years on 95,000.
Not bad, right?
Hey, Bob.
It's just about $700 payment for me a month.
$700 a month. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all.
It's not. And 15 years before we know it, it's paid.
Yeah, because here in America, the average mortgage is a 30-year mortgage. So 15 years for $700.
Yeah.
So what is your place? Is it how many bedrooms?
But the interest rate's much lower, right? It's a 3-bedroom house.
Mm-hmm.
So 3-bedroom house. It's semi-detached.
Mm-hmm.
And it has 2 parking spaces at the front.
Okay.
So I bought off plan in phase 1. They're currently building in phase 2. Mm-hmm. And when it's complete, they will have a what's it called? A children's play area, a bar, all the amenities, swimming pool. So it's going to be a full-on.
Is it kind of like a townhouse?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes that makes really sense.
Yeah. Okay. So they have 4 bedrooms as well. 4 bedrooms, 5 bedrooms, semi-detached, detached, and they're now doing apartments as well. So you can get an apartment, 3-bedroom apartment for, I think it's about $70,000.
So you said they have apartments also, and the apartments are going for about $70,000. You said?
Yeah, $70,000 to $80,000. So that wasn't on the original plan, but they've now introduced apartments.
Okay, that's really cool. So, being a Ghanaian and being being raised in the UK, with this option that you took, what would you advise people, other Ghanaian Brits or Ghanaian Americans or African Americans, all of us from the diaspora? As a young woman, you have some wisdom here. So advise us.
Mum, it's my mum.
Advise us well. Like, tell us what do you think is the best way to go about this thing? And let me give you a little why I'm asking this. A lot of people are told, you know, come to Ghana, buy land, build, and they make it seem like this is such a simple process.
It's not simple. It's not. My mum bought her house in the 80s. She bought her land she built her house in the 90s. She bought her land in the 80s in Adenta. So she built a 4-bedroom house as a single mother of 2 young kids. And I was always, you know, since then she also bought a few lands. So I was always hearing her on the phone, calling Ghana, getting updates. And I was like, I can't do this. So before the whole real estate market started booming in Ghana, I used to always have this conversation with my mum, buy versus build. And her thing was build. Building, the land is yours. Once it's done, the house is yours. You don't own anyone. But I just can't deal with, you know, people going AWOL, calling. I'm just, no. So for me, buying was just the easiest option for me. I think I will build eventually, but you have to understand what kind of person you are.
Exactly.
And determine which one would be better for you.
Exactly.
Building great, don't get me wrong. You can do it to your design and to your style. But then do you want to have a standalone house, or do you want to be in a gated community?
Right.
Do you want to have the church and the mosque making noises and calling? So do you see what I mean? So you have to kind of weigh out the pros and cons, because today there might not be a church in the corner,
right,
or the mosque, but when you go there next year, there's a 200-seater church,
right,
on the
across
corner,
the street from you.
Exactly. So with land, you can never go wrong. With property, full stop, you can never go wrong. And that's what my mum always taught me. You can never go wrong with property, regardless of where you build or buy. Personally, for me, I feel like everyone, I don't care where you're from, you need to invest in Africa. And the reason I'm saying Africa is because Africa is a big place. It's just not Ghana. I'm biased with Ghana. I love Ghana. Exactly. But obviously I want everyone to come to Ghana, but you also have to find which country is best suited for you and your needs as well.
Absolutely.
Land, I was talking to my dad 2 days ago about land, and my cousin in America, he lives in America, about land earlier on in the week. And I was just like, I want to buy. I have my eye in a few places, and they would advise me as well. But Accra, finding land in Accra as well is getting hard.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. And expensive.
It's crazy. But then we also need to change our mindset that Accra isn't Ghana. Accra is not Ghana. And this is what I'm seeing everywhere, especially on YouTube. Don't get me wrong, I love Accra, but you know, we have to explore. I still need to explore other areas in Ghana as well. So, okay, maybe Accra might not work for you, but then there's Kumasi, there's Cape Coast, there's Kwao. I'm biased to Kwao as well. So there's other places. So my advice would be go to Ghana and visit. That's my number one. I have people from school that I went to that are from the Caribbean descent, messaging me, telling me they want to buy land and houses and what they need